In this lesson, we're going to learn all about using the BODMAS sequence for fractions. But first, let's just review what you already know about BODMAS from your earlier classes. Remember this? We're given this operation. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 different operations. How would you do this? Now, different people have different ideas and different answers. This one says, well, I'm going to 8 plus 12. I'm going to add this first because it says 8 plus 12 first. So she adds this and gets 20. And then I'm going to do what comes next. Let's put this right alongside here so it's easy to follow. And so I'm now going to do 20 divided by 4. I'll take this pair. And so she does that. She gets 5. And then put this alongside here. And says, well, next I'll do 5 minus 2, the subtraction pair. And I get 3. And then I'll do 3 times 3, the multiplication pair. And I get 9. That's my answer. What's wrong with that? She doesn't sound very happy. But she's done it. And she thinks she's absolutely right. But then along comes this lady. When she's asked to do this, she says, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to divide this first. I'm going to take this division pair, find the answer, and then bring all these down so I know what to do next. And she decides, well, I'm going to do 3 minus 2 next. I just feel like doing that, so that's what I'm going to do. So the answer comes to 1, and then she decides, well, I will now do this pair, 8 and 1. That's 9 times 3. Let's put it next to 9. And the answer is 27. And she says, my answer is 27. Kind of a puzzle because she's saying, nope, I did it right. Mine is 9. And so we go to a third person and ask her to do it. Maybe she'll know what the right answer is. She says, well, I don't know. I think I'm going to just do this. Do this addition pair first, and then bring these all alongside. And then I'm going to do subtraction next. So she does the subtraction pair, which is 2, and then bring them all alongside. Then I'll do the division pair first. And so she does that, gets 10. And then I'll multiply that by 3, and I get the answer 30. And that's my answer, like it or not. Finally, this lady here, when she's asked how would she do it, she says, oh, I have an idea. I think I'm going to do this first. So she takes the division pair, does that, gets this answer 3, and then she says, well, puts them all alongside here so she can see clearly. Then she says, well, why not multiply these two? I'm following a logic here. I think I'm going to do it this way. It just makes sense to me. So she does the multiplication pair next, and she gets 6. And so the answer comes to this row here. And then she says, well, now I'm going to add 8 and 3 and take away 6. And the answer is 5. So what do you think? The answer to this problem, well, we found 4 different answers. First one was 9, then 27, then 30, and then 5. Who's got the right answer? Any ideas? Anybody? Well, this lady's got the right answer. This is what she'd done. She took this division pair first, got the answer, put them all alongside, and then she took this multiplication pair next, found the answer, and then put them alongside, and then she added 8 and 3, the addition pair, and then she did the final subtraction pair and got the answer, and that is the right answer. This is not the right answer. This is not the right answer, nor this, but this is the right answer. And the reason why she got the right answer is because she's following a very simple logic. She looks at all these numbers and all these operation symbols, and she says to herself, why not I just get rid of the difficult ones first? That's the way she thinks. Let's get rid of the difficult one. Now, division is harder than add and minus and multiply. So she did the division pair first. She got 3. She's got that out. And then she looks at this line and says, well, over here, the hardest thing is multiply. We learned that after we learn how to add and subtract. So since this is the harder one, I'll get rid of this too. So she did 2 times 3 and she got 6. Once she's got that, then she says, this is interesting. How can I take away 6 when I don't know how much I have altogether? So I need to know how much I've got altogether. That's just common sense. So she said, well, I'll add first and find out how much I have altogether, and then I can take away 6. So take away has to come right at the end. Now that's the way she thought about it. And that thinking became a system, because now you've got D for divide in this pyramid. So let's write D here. After divide comes multiply. After multiply comes add. After add comes subtract, which is the last operation in this hierarchy. Now we also have something before divide, which is even superior to divide, and that is of. We'll learn about that later in part 2. But before of, you have yet another operation called brackets or parentheses. And brackets is what we do first. So BODMAS, that's the rule. That's the hierarchy. That's the order of seniority. Bracket is the most senior. You do that first. You listen to that sign first. Then you'll listen to the of sign, and then division, multiplication, then addition and subtraction. Subtraction comes right at the end. You take away from whatever you have left first. Okay, so learn this word, the magic word BODMAS. Say it right now, BODMAS. Say it again, BODMAS. Okay, repeat after me, BODMAS. Great, you've said it 3 times. Learn that by heart, because you'll need that word over and over again. Okay, the question is, why does the bracket come first? Why does parenthesis or bracket or B come first? Well, one way to understand it is, imagine a glass. It's got 2 marbles in there. I put in 2 marbles, 1, 2, and then I ask you to put in 1 marble. And then along comes this magician who says, wait a minute, I'm going to put my hand on top of this glass. I've covered it, you can't see it. Can you tell me how many marbles there are inside that glass? And of course, how many are there? Anybody? Of course, there are 3. You know there are 3. He says, okay, watch. He moves his hand, and you've got 6 marbles. So what he did was he doubled the number of marbles in the glass. That was his magic. So what is double? Multiply by 2. So first, 2 marbles went in there. That was mine. And then 1 marble of yours went in there. So first thing we do is we add 2 and 1. That's the first thing we do. Add 2 and 1. If you think in terms of the math. And then when you've written 2 plus 1, and then another 3 marbles were dropped. That means this marble is repeating itself twice. It's being doubled. To double means to multiply by 2. So now the question is, the 2 ways of writing it, I can either write 2 times over here and then 2 plus 1, or I can write 2 plus 1 and write 2 times. You can write it this way or this way. Which is the right way? Now, if you follow BODMAS or just DMAS, you'll multiply these 2 first and then add 1. And you won't get the right answer. You're supposed to get 6. So this is not what you did, because you're getting 5. You should get 6. Now, why are you getting 5? because you're supposed to add 2 and 1 first. That's what we did. I put in 2, you put in 1, we added them together, we got 3. And then, after that, the doubling took place. The magician came after that and doubled it. So we need to make sure we add 2 and 1 first, we get 3, and then we double that, we get the answer 6, and that is the right way. Not this. Now, how do we tell you that you need to add first? The only way you can indicate that intention is to put 2 plus 1 inside a pair of brackets or parentheses. So if I say, put these brackets around 2 plus 1, put the brackets around 2 plus 1, then it's telling you or giving you the order, do what's inside the brackets first. So once you've done that and follow that instruction, you can't go wrong, because 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 2 times 3. And here's also 3. It doesn't matter whether you do it 2 times 3, the next doubling, you double, or 3 times 2, the answer still comes to 6 on both sides. So what we learn here is respect brackets as the most senior person in this BODMAS rule. So whatever is in the bracket, do that first, and then everything else in the order that it's given. So now that you've understood the importance of brackets, that B comes first, we'll put a pause here and prepare for part 2, when we do more of BODMAS and introduce you to fractions. But first you need to learn all about what off is about. So until then, what's the magic word? BODMAS. Very good. One more time. BODMAS. Excellent. BODMAS. So with that, I say goodbye. Have a wonderful day. See you in part 2.